reckless and the
We're good over here.
All right, welcome to Reckless and the Recluse. I'm Ashley Baca. This is Judy Caps. And
No. You are Lavish Ash now.
Oh my God. I forget. So my friends call me that. Okay, that's like my nickname. And
like
then
they refer to you as Lavish Ash. They're like, hey, Lavish Ash.
yeah, or they'll call me Lavish. Like they'll be like, is Lavish coming? Because I'm like, I like my drinks a certain way. I like things a certain way. I won't go places if they're not a certain way. You know what I mean?
Fancy fashly.
Yeah. Anyway, so they always are calling me that. And then we were sitting and they're like, why isn't it your Instagram name? And I was like, no, that's stupid. And they're like, no, come on. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So then I did it and I got so much feedback from my friends. They're like, what's going on? Like one of my friends was like, are you having a crisis? My other friend was like, I kind of like this. This is like a good look. My agent called me. He's like, I like what you're doing. Like, this is going to be like, he's like, I think this might get some casting directors to notice you. Like, keep it up. So I was like, here I am.
Well, now you can join me in the people getting your Instagram name wrong. I'm Judy Isham and you're Lavish Ash. Like, Shash.
Shit, I forgot about the fact that like my tag
People are
is
stupid.
Ashley. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, on this. Well, not anymore. It's going to have to be Lavish Ash.
Yeah, this week.
I want to call you Shash. That's like a really funny.
And I want to call you Judy. Cool.
Judy Isham. Mrs. Isham.
So.
It's like that time of year where like I wear slippers, but like my feet get sweaty. So just taking off the slippers.
Well, for me, it's that time of year that I didn't make my bed completely and it's in behind this, so that's cool.
And you specifically like framed it so that you could.
You know, I really wasn't going to do that, but the light was bad. But now it's like, whatever. I always have to move it in the middle of the podcast.
We have so many weird greens going on in this podcast. Like we got my hat, we got my background, and then your comforter is like a combination of all of my colors.
Oh, it is. How pretty. We're pretty. It's been so long. I forgot what we do on this. How do you feel after the vaccine?
Oh, well, I get my second dose this week. The first one was rough. It put me out. I think I already talked about that though. I was on my ass for like 2 days. It sucked. But that just means I have a very healthy, robust immune system.
That's what that means?
Yeah, I'm having a big immune response, which is what you want. That's the intended response.
That's good.
Yeah. I feel like I wanted to ask you something, but I forget. It's been too long. I don't remember anything.
I know. That's why I'm like, we need to catch up on stuff, but I can't even remember. Well, what have you been doing? Have you been reclusive lately?
Oh, yeah, but I've been incorporating walks into my life. I went for a walk today. And I got to go for a run finally because it was nice enough out. So that was like the highlight of my year so far is being able to run outside. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. And I waited. Like I could have gone one day, but it was like a little bit cold. And I was like, I want my first one to be, it's like, you know, I felt like a virgin again. I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted the sun to be lit perfectly. I wanted to set the mood right so that I got out. And like I could have just gone out when it was snowy and icy and just kind of like run in any condition. Like I could get a run if I need a run. Like, you know, like I'm a fit guy, you know, like,
when it was, yeah, you could. I trained for a half marathon when it was snowing and I totally just was running outside in the snow.
Yeah. But like you want your first time to be special, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to just like any old day, you know, you want to do like go for your run after prom or something, you know?
After prom.
like the first one, you want it to be special. You want to go after prom, you set the mood, you put on some romantic music and you just make sure you look nice. But after you get that first time out of the way, then you can really go running any old day. Rain, shine.
That's true. That is true. Okay. So you've been reclusive, but you've been running.
I ran once. So the big news last week that I was going to tell you about was there was a bat in our house. Have you ever seen a bat up close?
Yeah.
You have?
They're weird. Yeah, a few times.
Very weird. Very weird.
They're like fuzzy and they're like black. They look like little puppy birds. I don't know.
Yeah.
Deformed puppy birds. Flying
rats. It's bizarre. There was one stuck in the basement and it was just like flying in circles and you're like, ah! And then they're active at night. So at night it was like flying around. And then we went the next morning because we wanted to try to get it out. So we opened the door and it was like perched, upside down it's just a flat wall, but it was just stuck to the wall. And I was like, is that the bat? It was just looked like a black tennis ball, just like on the wall. It's like, what the fuck is that? And that was the bat. And so, but it was like morning and they're nocturnal and we couldn't wake it up. So like I squirted water on it. I was like, oh, this will do it. It gets the cat going. I squirted water at it. Nothing, no movement, anything. That thing was fine with water. Then we poked it with like a long, broomstick and it still didn't move, but it started making crazy clicking noises. It started doing its sonar thing. It was just like, and we're just like, what the fuck? And then eventually just had to scrape it off the wall and it still didn't, it just landed on the ground and just stayed there. And I was like, what the fuck? Is it dead? I don't understand what this is. So I was going to go up to it and put a bucket over it and then shove a cardboard like you do with a spider, except bigger, scale it up. So I start walking up to it and it hears me and it just starts flying around in circles again. I'm like, ah! And then it found its way into a crevice and it's never been seen again.
Ew. Well, I'm not going over. I'm glad you live over there.
Well, I think it's gone. I want to say it's gone. So I've reached the bat stage of COVID.
Okay. It's interesting. Well, it's a year anniversary. You needed something new.
I know. I said,
I feel like I'm not quarantine's over because I've been going to restaurants and they don't care if I wear a mask. And I'm like, woo! I've just been all my neighbors have been throwing parties. I met this guy that is our neighbor. He took us out. He took us to this bar where you didn't have to wear masks. There was hundreds of us in there. And I was just like, all right, cool.
That seems like such a bad idea. At work, cases are going way up again.
Really?
Yeah. This week, there was 10 times as many as last week. It's it's going to be bad, I think, again.
For everybody else, I'm sure.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
You're going to still have a good old time. I'm sure you are. I mean, people aren't dying as much, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just trying to, I thought my job was ending. So I'm I'm already getting those wheels turning. All right, what am I doing next? I'm pretty much checked out. And then cases are on the rise again. And I'm just like,
fuck, you're going to have to work for longer.
I got to keep doing this. And I hate having a job. Everybody's so nice.
Having a job. I feel like we've disconnected creatively because of you having a job. I don't know. Is that weird?
I've disconnected with everything because I have a job. I hate having a job. I fucking hate it. But what am I going I'm still not vaccinated fully. So what else am I going to do? I'm just going to sit here.
It's the right thing for you to do right now, for sure. It's just that for I don't know, just creatively, I just feel disconnected. I was a little bit more excited and now I've been unexcited. And I'm I need to change that. like about our podcast and stuff. Like I need to, because there's
I
some funny
know.
stuff. There's some funny clips and stuff, and I need to put some time into it.
I know I just feel that way about everything. It's just taking away from everything else that I'm trying to do with my life. But I don't know. I'm trying to get my shit secure so that I don't have to work as much, after this job. So I feel like it kind of makes sense. But anyway, I did come up with a terrible joke.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So, I like to run and stuff. I'm pretty into like fitness and stuff. So I actually got kind of offended, because they have all these like shootings happening, like in Colorado and stuff, and they're horrible. But they're calling these guys active shooters, and I'm offended because I work so hard to be active, and like these guys, I see pictures of these guys. These guys are some like fat white dudes. And the only time that these guys ever got their steps in was when they walked into that fucking Walmart and fucking were picking off people, because like that's the only day they ever hit their fucking 10,000 steps.
A good joke. Quality.
That was the first time that guy was ever in the fucking vacuum aisle at Walmart. That was the only thing that brought him there. That motherfucker is sedentary as shit. And
so
I work hard.
You do work hard. I just booked a 15-minute show that I'm getting paid for. And, I've been slacking. So I got to spend every day of April writing jokes.
You want to steal my joke?
Yeah, I'll steal that one.
That would be really funny. I just started writing for you.
You should, right? I'm not going to steal that joke because... Well, maybe.
I feel like
it's college kids, so it has to be clean.
Is that clean? That's like offensive. I guess there's no curse.
Like offensive is different than like cussing and I like put it in her butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's edgy. It's kind of it's
clean then. Like
I don't know, Brian Regan, Nate Bargatze, Seinfeld is clean.
I just remembered last night that I did comedy. I forgot.
You remembered last night that you're a comedian?
No, my friend had like a mic and when they were freestyling and then they were like, Ashley, do some jokes. And I did. And I was just like.
You did them like to a beat?
Yeah.
You were like, yo, 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 yo. I just flew in from New York City.
Rapper ever. Like they're freestyling and I'm so bad. Like so bad.
I do all my jokes in iambic pentameter.
There was it. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm not even gonna mess around right now because I'm so bad. It's embarrassing.
I thought you were like, I was sitting there last night and I remember I'm a comedian. No. I am a comedian.
I am a comedian. We all know that. I'm funny as hell when out, when about. But should I be telling structured jokes to my friends over a beat? No.
Wait, so what's this college gig? So
this guy who's booked he works for Meow Wolf. And he's booked a lot of like my other shows, called me and booked me for, it's just a Zoom show, but it'll be a starter show because he said that Meow Wolf's going to open up in May. So he said, we'll do this show and then I'll start doing shows in May. So it's good. Zoom sucks, but It's good because I'll write and then I'll start.
Oh, it's a Zoom show.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about that, but I get paid. But I got to write all new stuff.
I'll sell you my active shooter joke for $4.
Okay. So I always feel like, change your thoughts, change your world. Like I'm a big manifester, like everything I think is how my life is, right?
Uh-huh.
And I have I've had tons of auditions, honestly, lately. I haven't booked anything.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been auditioning for good stuff, like Sephora commercials. There's a show called Rebel on ABC. There's going to be this new improv show on I don't know if it's NBC or something, but it's a network show. And I just sent an audition for that. Like, great like that. I'm not booking, but I have been partying like it's the roaring 20s. And I don't want to party anymore. And every time I say that, like, there's a new party.
What do you like? What is the appeal of a party right now for you? Like, what are you doing?
But like, yesterday we were just supposed to be chilling at the pool, right?
Okay.
I didn't drink. I was like playing football. I was like, I don't want to drink because I have a big day tomorrow, right? And then they're like, let's go get sushi. Obviously, we're hungry. And then I just started taking shots, and then it was like the rest of the night was gone.
Active shooter, taking shots. Hell yeah. That's just everything just comes back to active shooter for me today.
And then on like Friday night, same thing. Me and my friend, we went shopping. Like, and it was the same thing. I was like, I'm not going to drink tonight much because like whatever. And then this guy I had met in the building was like, hey, do you guys want to go to dinner? And we're like, yeah, cool. And this guy buys nonstop like shots again. And I went to a birthday party. I got home at 5 a.m.
Today?
No, on Friday. Last night, I didn't sleep a wink. Last night, I didn't sleep 1 minute.
Why?
Because I went out, I stayed up late, and then I had a lot of work to do this morning. So I had to get up.
Is that you had actual work to do? Or are you saying, is that a euphemism?
The work. No. The work that I have, like I had to make some phone calls this morning. They had to be done. And then by the time I did that, then it was already going to be time for us to talk. And I needed to eat. That's why. So I ate. And now I haven't.
Well, are these auditions? Are these in person or are they virtual?
No, I had one in person for Ross because I got a call back.
Just some guy named Ross. He's like, all right, now do the thing.
The star Ross.
What's the funniest audition that you've had? Like, not recently, but ever.
That was just like awkward.
Yeah, just like something weird about it.
Okay, the first audition I ever had, I had for a supporting role in Bad Santa 2. It was my first one in LA, not like ever.
Okay.
And I just read the notes wrong, and I did it sexy, and I like realized that everybody was doing it like comedic and like came in there looking grungy, and I just like fucked it up so bad. And even after I did it, because I was supposed to do 4 scenes because it was a supporting role, like it was gonna be huge, right? I did one, and that casting director was just like, okay, yeah, bye. And I was just like, what?
You just missed what it was.
Yeah, and I should have gotten, because it was so big, I should have gotten a coach, honestly. Like, that could have changed my career if I booked it,
Or you just would have been typecast as like, oh, that's that chick from Bad Santa 2, and you would never live that down.
That's true. You're right. Things change. That's changed the world.
That's like it's such a big part. Like, you're the Verizon guy.
Anyone would even remember.
Oh, speaking of which, I just thought of this. What about the Thomas Middleditch shit that happened to him? He almost got canceled. You know who Thomas Middleditch is, right? Or no? The main guy from Silicon Valley, and also
yeah.
Who's actually like, he's very funny, and everything I've heard about him is that he's super nice and like a good dude. But there was that funny, and I wish I read all of the article, but it was just like he got in trouble for going to some like weird like sexy goth club, and came on to somebody, and the person was not into it, and like that was enough. That's probably gonna be like a career, maybe not ruiner, but like,
okay, but he'll have a moment. He'll have an Aziz Ansari moment.
Yeah, you don't want like an article like that to come out in the LA Times with your face and like, this guy treated somebody like shit. Like, I don't understand the point of that article. Like, what is, because if I did that, there would be no article about it. Like people do that shit all the time. Like he made someone feel uncomfortable by like making advances and then was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for making you feel uncomfortable. Like I didn't mean to. I'm sorry." And he apologized.
Even a thing. Okay, getting back to that, what's your most awkward audition?
Oh yeah. I had one for a sign spinner and it said on the thing like must know how to do sign spinning, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, but my agent submitted me for it and I got an audition for it for like some commercial, and I'm like, why did you submit me for this? Like I don't, sign spinning is like an actual skill that I don't have. Yeah, like the people on it's like it's not an interesting skill, but it is a skill that you need to develop.
It's like baton twirling in Miss America.
Yeah,
it's not interesting, but it is a skill.
Right. You don't want to go into the Miss America competition having that be your first time twirling a baton, right?
No.
Sorry,
so, I was just
yeah, so it was like a role for sign spinner that my agent got me an audition for, and I'm like, this is why you get 10%. So I go in and I'm watching videos on YouTube of sign spinning because I have no idea what it is. And they were like, and I'm sitting in the room and there's dudes with their own signs that are like clearly professional sign spinners, and they're waiting for this audition to come around. Obviously, like this is their day. And I'm just like, what's up? I don't have a sign or anything. So I get in there and the guy's like, do you have a sign? And I'm like, no. And so he just hands me like a piece of cardboard or whatever. And he was like,
supposed to bring in a sign?
It said in the thing, like, if you have your own sign, you can bring it.
Sorry.
And I kid you not, some of the signs that these dudes have were signs that on the signs said sign spinning. It was like advertising for sign spinning while sign spinning. It's insane.
This is sad. Okay.
So I was like, you know what? This is not going to be the greatest audition for me, but I went in like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just going to do whatever.
Yeah. And at that point, you just got to do it. You can't walk away.
No, I was in the room. I'm not walking away. The guy was like, can you put these headphones on? It's like the commercial is like you're a guy listening to music and like spinning a sign on the street or whatever on the sidewalk. So I'm like, sure. So he's like, all right, action. Like, and I'm just start like throwing the thing up. The headphones fly off my head. And, the sign, I'm just twirling it like anybody would that doesn't know how to do it. And then he's like, all right, thank you. And I'm just like, no, thank you. And I leave. And then I get put on a veil for that commercial later that day. I shit you not.
Of course. Because they're like, this guy has a good move.
I think they just wanted somebody that like, they're like, let's have a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. Also.
But you didn't book it?
I did not book it.
That's not sign spinner spinning this sign.
So that was ridiculous. I shouldn't have been there at all. But the fact that I almost got it was even funnier. Okay,
so I know I changed the subject, but I just wanted to know your funny story. But back to the story, that's the problem with this movement, is because now it's people who are completely innocent. Even as a famous person, like he hit on someone and he apologized. It wasn't like he actually did anything. He didn't even force himself on it. Okay, whatever. Like from the alleged story, but it shouldn't even be an article, is what I'm saying. Like, because then it takes away from the real thing, the real pedophilia, the real rape, the real assholes,
the real Army Hammers.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the problem with even this. Shouldn't, like, you're trying to sell papers, so you read an article about nothing, but then you're taking away from people who've actually been raped. Like, so what if somebody hit on you? I went outside and got carne asada fries, and a guy hit on me out there, and I didn't want him to. But we don't need nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do know what you're saying. I heard he was trying to reach.
I just wanted some food,
and he just wanted some ass. I mean, they were at like a kinky sex club, and I heard that he was just trying to reach into her Silicon Valley. That's what I heard. You know,
So it's bad jokes all day.
all day.
All day. Okay.
I didn't
just
even
wanted
have
to-
that one prepared. That just came out.
Is that one you have to prepare?
Yeah, apparently not. But yeah, that happened, I guess, last week in the LA Times. It sucks because he's funny and he's just like a very unassuming, nice guy, I think. I know people that have interacted with him, like they come
like
to work and stuff. I'm so not his best friend.
Coffee with him every week.
I've never met him, but one of my friends in LA, he comes into the coffee shop, or no, the bagel shop that she works at. And she's like, yeah, he comes in all the time. He's super nice always. And I'm like, okay, good to know. And he's also like apparently funny. He's just like, hey, like goofy, like positive, like give you make it a fun interaction. I'm like, that's great. That's all you want out of a famous person.
What do you want out of a famous person?
Well, like if they're coming into your work and you're like, oh, there's that guy from this thing. It's like cool if they're just like, silly. They make it fine. That's what I would be. Because they know you walk in there and you know that they recognize you. Right? Like you just know that people are going to recognize you everywhere you go. Maybe not 100% of the places if you're middle ditch, but like a lot of places. He was on a huge HBO show. Like people know who he is. So like you just kind of have that in your mind, and then you gotta break the ice a little bit, I think. I don't know. What are you gonna be like when you're famous? Well, tell me. What is Lavish Ash?
Fuck. I just be unassuming, I guess. And if people wanted to recognize me, I'd be like, hey. And if they were like, whatever, I don't know. How do you think I would be? I guess you don't know me in public settings, huh?
No, I've never been out with you. I'll go out with you one day though.
For sure. But like, I
don't know. Like how do you react if you are just getting attention that you don't necessarily want?
I mean, like after I've performed at like the Comedy Store, like a lot of times when you walk down Sunset, people will be like, pizza, or like, hey, or like, you're going to make it, or like, you're actually funny. Like people will say stuff like that. And you're like, I just am like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it so much. I'm just like, nice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I have.
So if I was super famous and people are going to know me everywhere and I walked into a place, I'd just be like funny and like unassuming that anyone recognized me, but like pleasant.
What are you going to be like on your bed? Like the day where you wake up and you're just like, I feel like shit. Like I don't want to deal with anything. You got to go to the airport like 5 a.m. or whatever. What is that? Like, what is the worst possible famous Ashley? Like, do you lash out to people?
I would definitely like be wearing sunglasses and a hoodie, and I'd be like, have my bodyguard like.
You're not bodyguard level, but you're famous.
Oh. I would just really try to disguise what I look like, because if anyone talked to me then, I'd be pissed, because I'm not nice now when I'm like that, Yeah,
that's what I mean. Neither am I. Like I'm a nice person, but I'm not like a friendly person, if that makes sense. Like I don't start conversation.
Like if you're my friend, you're going to like me. But if you're not my friend, we're not going to become friends unless there's a reason.
Right. Unless you meet on some audio-based social media app.
Hey, it was meant to be.
Stereo. I almost went on there the other day, actually, but I didn't.
Did you? I forget about it.
Well, since we didn't do a podcast, I felt like doing something. So I texted my friend and I was like, my friend Lauren that I did stereos with. And I texted her like, do you want to do a stereo? And she didn't respond to me till the next day. And then I was just like, I'm over it.
I'm over it. I haven't thought about it at all, but is there still money to be won on there?
They actually just sent out an email yesterday that said they're monetizing like YouTube now. Like,
oh, really?
Based on your content type of thing.
Why am I not getting the emails anymore?
They're probably in your spam box, to be honest.
Oh. Well, I mean, I feel like nobody's using it. I feel like people are using Clubhouse more.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of like, I like the set. I haven't I haven't talked on Clubhouse, but I have listened to a couple. And it kind of like the setup kind of makes more sense. Like you can get a whole panel of people and just like, it's just like being in a Zoom chat, but just audio. It kind of makes more sense rather than like listening to a live podcast, unless you're listening to like, I don't know. I'm sure Jeff Ross still gets listeners.
Done it like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I've been a very cutting off person today. But if Stereo would have gotten all of us creators, right? And they were like, you have a themed show and you can only do it once a week, Tuesday at 3, right? And they set us all up like that and filled all the spaces with one like good show and like random people couldn't talk, the app would have taken off. But because it's like a mess in there. And the fact that sometimes you're talking to 13-year-olds and like, it's just like.
I wonder how planned out that was. If they were like, first, we're going to hire all these like unknown podcasters. We're going to pay them for this amount of time. And then the next level is we're going to, get Jeff Ross and like these comedians on board and we're going to start paying them. And then we're going to get these fucking millennial YouTubers on and we're going to start paying them. And like, was that planned out the whole time? Or was this just like, what do we do next? What do we do next? Like,
I mean, honestly, I have no idea.
I mean, I think about it now. I don't know. It's.
I feel lucky to have had the opportunity. Like, I'm thankful because I didn't apply or anything, and I wouldn't have. So that was some nice money during the pandemic, you know.
And it wasn't bad. It was kind of fun. I mean, I made some friends. I had some funny conversations, some pretty terrible ones too. But that's the other thing is like, if they scheduled you for a show a week, were they going to match you up with like it's freshman year of college? Like who's going to be your roommate? Like, okay, you're interested in video games and Cosmopolitans, the drink, not the magazine.
But I think if they would have set it up like that, it would have done better. Like instead, the way we were on there, like roulette also, like I think they would have at least had us and then go ahead and have the random conversations, but have us with like a structured lineup that they gave us or like made us make up, it would have gone so much better.
Well, they should have hired you for behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, I know.
Clearly.
I would be better behind the scenes. I'd be a better manager, but I want to be in the front.
We should just manage each other.
I'm gonna start emailing and be like, you need this guy on your show. Let's do it.
All right. Even though actually, you already have a manager.
I DM'd one casting director on Instagram and that's going to be my goal right now is to do like 3, like research a casting director. The one I DM'd, she did not respond, whatever, but I have auditioned for her like 4 times. And I'm like, you know what? If they're not going to, because it's who you know, and it is a pandemic, so there's no better time than now to be DMing people. So that's what I'm going to do. I
like how it's only a pandemic for you when convenient. Like, I have to stay home and Instagram people, so because like it is a pandemic, but like, well, you're having a party? Well, like,
no. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to the party, but I can't. Before, I used to go to these networking events all the time. I used to go to these like private parties and stuff to meet. And I met a lot of people. I met someone at ICM that was going to sign me. That was like a whole thing from being at like, a networking party, not like a get drunk party. And those things aren't happening right now. So it is a pandemic and not by my choice.
Yeah, I know. I understand. The industry is not where it was before the pandemic. It's not back by any stretch of the imagination.
Hell no. Like there's shit going on, but I mean, and if you see a lot of the movies that are coming out, there's barely any extras in them. They're like very small cast, like, and most of the stuff sucks, but it's obvious why they're doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting the people that can like work within those limitations. Like, who I feel like, and I don't know if they've done anything during the pandemic, but like, the Duplass brothers, how they really work like restricted. Oh
yeah, they're good at that.
I bet they've done just fine with their projects, whatever they're working on right now, because they're so limited already. It's all like 2 characters, like really good story. Like
Well, has
I
any
bet
new Room 104 come out?
Room 104, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about that one. I was just thinking about their films, but that's true.
Wait, they did have one. What was it? Came out like 3 months ago, I think. Oh,
I don't know.
talking about, I can't remember. I could look it up, but did you watch that movie on Netflix? Why is the name slipping me?
Slipping me.
Illusions. And
No.
it's about the nanny, and it's with the girl from Sex and the City. No?
Oh, I think I saw that on the TV. I didn't watch it. I was like, I remember walking past it and I was like, is that Sex and the City? And Deanie was like, yeah. That was all I saw was that one lady. It was bad.
It's so bad. It's like, oh my God. Like at first it was kind of good. It was like, oh, this is interesting. Like it was kind of like, who's the murderer?
That's
what
how everything
happens?
is now.
Yeah. And then it just turned into this weird sexual thing. And this woman was fucking everybody. And then at the end she tried to murder everybody. And I was just like, is she horny or is she a murderer? Like it's
You could be
me
both.
out.
You could be both. I mean, Ted Bundy, horny murderer.
True.
Yeah.
You know, someone was talking about how like everyone's always like Ted Bundy was so good looking that these women fell for him, and they're like, no, that's not really how it was, and he's not that good looking, but he preyed on like very vulnerable women.
I don't think he wasn't very good looking. I mean, he's like fine looking, but I think he was very charming. Like that's the impression that I got. It was like he's very like engaging and stuff, which is like all those fucking creepy dudes. Like you got to have a bit of a radar for that. Like I would feel like I would pick up on like this is not going right. And I just heard some story.
Oh, sorry.
No, there was somebody telling a story about how they knew somebody that actually went out on a date with somebody, and it turned out to be Ted Bundy. But while they were on the date, they like called somebody when they're at a restaurant and they were like, can you come pick me up? Because I'm getting weird vibes from this dude. Like clearly he was just like, he's probably too much. He was probably just like laying it on like really thick. But like, if you looked at it from far away, you'd be like, oh, this guy's like very nice and very charming, but he was probably just like nonstop, like very intense.
Yeah. I feel like I have a good radar for that. I feel like I do a good job picking like nice. Okay. I feel like I date like fuckboys of fuckboys, but they would never like murder me, you know?
Oh, I'm glad
they would
to hear
never
it.
like they're like I always date guys who are like not violent, you know?
So you would be one of the very small percentage of murders that's like they didn't know the victim.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, it wouldn't be the ex-boyfriend for you. It would just be the guy who's just having a real bad day. This was the day that he flipped and you were wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. Because all my exes are so nice. Like even like they would still do things for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They're just like normal guys is what I'm saying.
Normal guys, relationship ended. I get it. That's fine.
Yeah. But it was
every relationship ends except for the ones that don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I have friends who date guys. Like I have a friend right now who's dating a guy and I'm like, he's beating her. And she's like, we're not that close, this girl. But like, and I can sense the second I met him that he was a psychopath. You know what I mean? Like I could like feel it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm very sensitive to that kind of stuff too. I think to the other extreme where it's like I keep most people away and let my filter is like I'm one of those fucking like high grade coffee filters. Like I don't let shit through. I'm espresso filter.
I'm the same way because like with my close friends, like obviously I'll hang out with more people, but like my close friends, I'm like those are solid people.
Solid, or like even some liquids I won't let through. Like I am tight. But anyway,
did you do an enema today?
Psychopaths, they're never like, it would be a much better world, I feel like, if all psychopaths were unable to like find people to date. You know, if we just lived, if society was just like not attracted to those people, it's like, oh no, something's off with that guy, I'm not going to date him. Or even like that lady. Ladies can be psychopaths too, let's be real.
Yeah.
But psychopaths get in relationships.
But you know why? Okay, so we can sense it. Everyone can sense it. I think even these people who are pretending they can't sense that they're psychopaths, they're just desperate for like human attention or affection. Or the person is so like good looking that they're looking past it. Something like that. So
yeah,
honestly,
I feel like psychopaths can be very narcissistic, and that probably means they take like very good care of themselves physically. Not always, but sometimes.
Some of them. And so that's why. And people, so someone who's just like craving attention or is so obsessed with looks will look past all that and be like, okay. And then now they're dating this weirdo. And then they actually fall in love, because you do, as humans, when you spend time with someone, you know, you fall into some sort, you either leave like you should have, or you fall in love. And that's why all these people are with psychopaths. But maybe these people who are with psychopaths are a little bit psycho themselves, right? I
don't know. I mean, but like his dick is not a psychopath. Like his dick is normal.
There is no dick worth that.
I've never dated it.
So easy to find. Like sex is so easy to find. Not like both ways, right? That why is that ever an excuse? Like, you know, that's not what it is. Like for me, when I was like hooking up with this guy who's kind of a jerk, and like I would say it was because it wasn't because of that. It was because I just liked all of him. You know what I mean? Like I could have got that same good sex somewhere else.
Yeah. It's just a matter of admitting to yourself that it's actually like it's actually a statement about yourself that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
Crazy person. Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree with that. I've never dated somebody like actually crazy. And even like, I mean, I've never been in a relationship with anybody that I've like gone out with that I've got wild vibes from. I was just immediately so turned off that I couldn't even see them again. It's not even a matter of like, well, I'm interested, but like, I think he's a psycho. It's like, I'm not interested anymore. No,
I couldn't. And when I was saying this guy was like an asshole, I'm just saying like I knew he was like fucking around with a lot of girls and like stuff like that. I'm the same way. Like if anyone is mean, or not mean, but if I get like a vibe from someone immediately, that's it.
Would you rather somebody you were dating was secretly murdering other women or secretly murdering other men?
Well, if I had to choose, men. All right. Make me feel a little safer. But
yeah, I feel like that doesn't happen that often. Like there aren't men that like serial kill other men. I feel like, does that happen? There's people like the Night Stalker that'll kill anybody. He's woke as shit.
No, I don't, because of Stereo. I was doing a serial killer podcast once a week, and we were diving deep. And no, these men murdered men all the time. What the oddity, if that's not the word, is that women always poison people. They never gruesomely murder people. Like really? There's like 1 out of 100 woman murderers that has done it like gruesome. Like they always poison people.
I feel like, how do they do it though? Normally, like in food,
like either they're angels of death and they're nurses where they like kill their patients, like overdose them, or they mix up concoctions at home and like poison their husbands or poison whoever, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's not serial killing.
No,
I mean, I guess if they poison their cereal, like, that is serial killing.
Or their husbands for like insurance money and stuff.
Oh, like multiple husbands. That's a lot of work.
But men will kill, like a lot of the serial killers, it's not just women. They kill men and women. Like I know because Ted Bundy's famous and like whatever, the Night Stalker and whatever. But there's so many that were just, they like specifically, they would just kill men. But men like to do it gruesome and torturous.
Yeah, but think about how much forethought that is to go through 4 husbands and kill them all. That's like really like you can kind
That's
of
like
relate. You
you
can
can
kind of
relate.
relate to somebody that's like just like gets super angry and wants to fucking like kill somebody, like stab, like and get out this rage. Like you can relate to that a little bit because you know what rage feels like. But I can't relate to like somebody that has a career, like a lifetime of like, I'm going to marry these, I'm going to pretend to fall in love, go through this whole fucking like courtship period, engagement, get married, pretend to be in love, like live in a house, all this work, and then kill them only to do it 3 more times. That is a career.
Yeah. It's the excitement of the money or the power, I guess, at that point, right?
I don't know. I
mean,
can't relate to
you
it.
have to have like a few, I don't know, brain portions missing to think that way. Like you're not getting any joy in regular life. You're literally just playing a role.
Yeah. I always wonder this. Do you think someone can be a sociopath, but like a good person at the same time?
I mean, that's a hard one because I feel like they can act like they have some sort of like moral compass, and so they are sociopaths, but they just do what's right. So they're just acting. They don't really feel any kind of way. They don't really want to be, good. But I mean, or give a fuck. They don't care. I'm saying they want to be good. They don't have any actual feelings towards it, but they just do it because it's like the right thing to do. So yeah, I think so. I feel like those people, like you and I, who read people a little bit better, we'd be like, something's off about their niceness, you know?
Maybe. I mean, sociopaths are also very good at reading people. That's the thing. Is like because they have such an understanding of like performance of human emotions and stuff, like an ego and things like that I don't know if you'd be able to tell because they're like the actual professionals.
Maybe. I've been friends, like not good friends, but I've had some sociopath friends in LA.
Well, that's where they all go. I mean, that's like the New Hampshire for libertarians.
And the one thing that girl told me was, she's like, you know what the difference is between me and you is you actually care, and I don't even feel anything about any of this. And I was just like, oh, you're okay. Yeah, you're a psycho for sure.
Well, she's, probably
Never
real
gonna.
good on a spin bike. Should be a Peloton instructor or something.
All right. Well, that's the end? Until next time.
Let me just say active shooter a couple more times.
Okay, ready?
Active shooter. Wow.
Been reckless and the recluse. I won't look so hungover next time, maybe.